What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage, and today we are bringing to you a deck profile that I actually have not made this. My buddy Miroku made this, and it is super fucking awesome. He actually used this at our shop challenge recently and wrecked face. He didn't win. Shout outs to the guy who actually did. It was a guy named Nicholas from that he actually come from out of town from I think they set up from Virginia or something of that nature. But really awesome dude, and the other people who showed up with him absolutely had a great time with the shop challenge, and I learned stuff. I actually had a very fun time with all of them. We had one dude show up for a shop challenge one time, was running like Kaleidoscope, and dipped the moment he lost like one round. So I was like, oh well. Okay, so we're gonna get into this today. This is Anit-Spirals. It is mono blue Anit-Spiral from Gurren Lagann, and there is a reason this actually hurt like some people. Hell, this deck actually beat me, like, and I was running Gurren Lagann as well, just for the fuck of it. But it was another deck that I actually have the deck profile for up on the channel as well. But really fucking awesome, and this is a very fun deck. But I want to go ahead and get right into this because I can't hold my excitement any longer because this is a fucking fun deck. Me and Miroku have had a time building this deck, put it that way. And this is a super budget deck, straight up. This might be one of the more expensive cards because it's the Brainstormer. So I'm gonna have to double check every single one of these because I don't know every single effect. I am gonna try to do as best I can. So we have when card named Humanity Extermination System is placed in your climax area, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 2 of cards named Mugann. Whoop, sorry, was reversed. Up to 2 cards named Mugann in your waiting room. Put them on separate positions of your stage. Pretty cool to be able to get copies of this out to have attackers. And then her Brainstorm effect. Pay 1, tap 2 of your characters, flip 4 cards from the top of your deck over, put them into the waiting room. If there is a card named Mugann, once again, it works completely around this card. Revealed amongst those cards, search your deck for up to 1 Anit-Spiral character. Put it into your hand, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle the deck. So 4 copies of this, absolutely have to have this 100%. Such a really good card, and there's a reason. We're going to get to that. There's a reason this is one of the best Brainstormers I've ever seen. So, sadly, if you reveal multiple Muganns, it just gets the one search, but as long as you mill at least one, you get a search, which is fucking insane. Next, we have 4 copies of Anit-Spiral Race. This dude, a little bit weird. But when this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an Anit-Spiral, which the whole deck is, except for the climaxes and 2 events, put into your hand, choose a card in your hand, put it into the waiting room. So some hand filtering, which is always good. So you can play this, go to filter, and then do your Brainstorm. Always a good card. When a climax is placed on your climax area, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do, choose one of your characters, and it gets 2,000 power until the end of turn. So you can play this, do the top check, tap, do your Brainstorm. Play a climax, bounces back to hand, do your shenanigans. Next turn, play it again, do the exact same thing over and over every time you play a climax. So you just can be reused over and over, and as long as you get 1 in hand, you can start that kind of loop thing, which is really cool. So 4 copies of each of those. The buff is also really good. And the rest of the zeros is 12 Muganns. Not kidding. First effect states you can have as many copies of this card in the deck as you want. It is also a bottom deck level 0 reversal. So this deck works around this card a whole bunch. There's multiple effects in this deck that work off of the Mugann. This being one of them. The reason this is one of the best Brainstormers, almost every Brainstormer works off of climaxes. I don't know about you, but you can only run 8 climaxes in a deck. This can run 12 copies of the card. This deck runs 12 copies of the card you have to hit with this. You have better chances, even though you don't get the effect multiple times, you have better chances of this proccing. Sure, it can still whiff like any other Brainstormer effect. But this is so good because you purposely run multiple copies. Let me start. Yeah, I'm counting it right. It's 12 plus the 8 there is 20 level zeros, but you have to have these. So that is the zeros, and we're going to leave this Mugann sitting out to the side for later things. Getting into the level 1s is this. That's it. Thanks, Miroku. Easy deck profiles right now. Advanced class Mugann. Also, even though this has Mugann in the name, the effect of Homegirl here, the way that we're... if it says a card named Mugann, meaning it has to be this specific name, it can't be anything that... It doesn't say... It doesn't read has Mugann in the name, but is named Mugann. So there's the difference with that, is it has to be this specific name card, even though there's other Muganns in the deck. It doesn't matter if you reveal these. So you can only work off of the level 0 for her effect and for the level 3s. If there's a marker underneath this, it gets 4,500 power. When you play it from hand to stage, you can take a Mugann from the waiting room, put it face up underneath this card as a marker, becoming a 7k level 1 with a marker. So that's it for the 1s. Getting into the 2s, and this is some of the fun shit. So 4 copies of this. Ku Mugann. At the beginning of your climax phase, it's a backup. It's a 3k backup. Beginning of your climax phase, you can sack this off to take Kyo Mugann, which is this, and put it onto the stage position that this was. If there's a marker underneath this, it gets 6,000 power, becoming a 10-5. And it also, on play, you can grab Mugann from the waiting room, put it underneath it as a marker. So this is definitely a beat stick type deck, but this is really cool. This is this is the card coming up right here, is the one that fucked me up. This Ashtanga class? This thing's insane. This fucked me up because it says all of your other Anit-Spiral characters get 1,000 power. And that's always good, make these things bigger and all that, but it's whatever. At the beginning of the climax phase, if all of your characters are Anit-Spiral, the entire deck is Anit-Spiral. All players put all of their characters with a level higher than their level at the bottom of their deck in any order. This fucks over anti-change. My deck, the Gurren Lagann deck I run, summons out the level 3 combined Gurren Lagann and is an early play. So many other decks work off of, or kind of focusing a lot more on early plays now. The Love Live Sunshine deck, their big combo is summon this level 3 Chica early. Use her effect, summon this level 3 Yo early. If this is out, that fucks over their entire game plan, because they can still summon it, sure, but as soon as they go to enter climax step, bam, they're gone. So, really awesome card. And we did ask about this because, we were like, okay, it says at the beginning of the climax phase. It doesn't say it doesn't say your opponent's the climax phase. So it doesn't matter when, as far as which player's turn it is. It's just as long as it reaches either player's climax step. Boom, the effect goes off. This entire deck's Anit-Spiral. Get wrecked. So that's the level 2s. Level 3s, we have 2 copies of this backup event. It's a 3-2. Choose 2 of your opponent's characters not in battle. Exchange them as standing. I don't know of anyone who hasn't gotten a last shot seen on to the face. So anything like that doesn't have hexproof, which actually, let me double check that. It does say choose 2, so that actually does, to my understanding, counts as targeting, and hexproof does stop this from going off. But basically, oh cool, you swung with something else first, play this card. I'm going to get rid of your big climax combo, swap it with a level 0 or something in the back. Yeah, that's whatever. Your opponent still has an attack, so it's not like Darkness Plan that just completely says no damage, bitch. But it stops big climax combos, and that's why if you know what your opponent's running, go ahead and hold on to one of these in hand. So, and then lastly is 4 copies of this level 3. And this is Ultimate Universal Diablo Granzeboma. Really fucking weird name. It's a heal on play, 3/2/10k heal on play. When this attacks, you can pay 1 and pitch 1 if you have this in the climax area. If you do, put the top 3 cards of your deck in the waiting room. And then the number of Muganns amongst those 3 cards, plus 2, you can look it up to that many cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose any number of those cards and send them to the waiting room. So basically this reads, get to look at the top cards of your opponent's deck, see if there's any climaxes, and pitch those climaxes. Your opponent does shuffle afterwards, though. It's a little bit of a convoluted effect, but it makes sense when you especially when you have it dropped on you. It's freaking amazing, especially for a fairly low cost. Just pay one, pitch one, to potentially get rid of any number of climaxes out of the opponent's deck is absolutely amazing. And basically, if you somehow off of your effect reveal 3 Muganns, you can look at 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. But if you reveal no Muganns, you still get to look at the top 2, because it's 0 plus 2. So, that's pretty cool. And the climax is a 1k1 pants trigger, and I didn't state before, but the Neo one is a blue stock soul climax. So, let's go ahead and show off that. So, 4 copies of the 1k1 pants trigger. Really creepy looking picture, though, I swear. And 4 copies of this. So, of the blue stock soul. So, Mugann is the name of the game. You have Brainstormer. The level 3 works around this. The level 1s and level 2s work around this. It's so, it's got so many different uses. That's why you run so many copies of it. And it's a Relentless Rats. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, look it up. It's from MTG. So, this is a really stupid fun deck. I have run this in tournaments before, and I've had it used on me plenty of times. I very much enjoy this deck. Shout outs to my buddy Miroku. It is fucking amazing. And that game that we played when I played against this is still fun as hell. So, anyway, thank y'all for watching. This is super fucking budget. I think Tim built this at the time that it came out for pretty fucking cheap. The Muganns are like $2 a piece. I think about $2 a piece right now. But you probably can still get them for fairly cheap. Everything else in the deck outside the Muganns is stupid cheap. So, very budget friendly. It's just a matter of finding enough copies of Mugann. So, and the number that fits your fancy. So, you can always adjust stuff in here. The playsets seem to work fucking amazing for a lot of other cards. So, anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by, checking out this awesome deck by my buddy Miroku. And we will see you on the flip side. Peace out for now.